Yo, Jack here again. So I thought I would try and make a video every day, as much as I can anyway. So I thought I'd use this video to give a bit of context to my mental health and my journey through mental health over the last 5 to 10 years around, because that's when I really started to understand how important it was. So for me, I'm pretty open with my mental health and the things that I've been through. Let me just close this window. So for me, I'm in quite a unique position because I was diagnosed with bipolar, drug-induced bipolar. This was my first year of university, so this would have been when I was about 19. So that's 9 years ago, nearly 10 years ago. So in short, the way it worked was I was through my secondary school years, I didn't really have many friends. And then when I went to university, I went to Brighton University, I studied music. I just exploded because I saw it as an opportunity to do all of the things that I couldn't do during my secondary school career, such as drinking, mingling with girls, going to parties, all of these kind of, young people things that I actually didn't do when everyone else was doing them. So I kind of went completely the other side of the spectrum and ended up going too heavy at university, which led to my mental degradation and eventually my downfall at that time was because of that very reason. So I ended up getting so bad in Brighton that my parents had to intervene. They had to come to Brighton, collect me, and then in the end they had to put me into a mental home. So I was in St. Charles Hospital in the psych ward I was in there 2 times. I went in there once, and then I ended up going in there again in the space of about 2 to 3 years. And the thing about these psych wards is most people don't make it out the other side. And I've seen this firsthand because the hospital is quite close to where I live. So I still see the people that I was in hospital with 10 years ago now, still in that state that they were in. They haven't progressed. They still look like zombies. They're still drugged to the nth degree. They're still not really incorporated into society. They are literally just empty vessels walking around. And I feel like I'm in a fortunate position because for some reason I managed to come out the other side and bounce back from those lows. And some of the things that I saw in the hospital were things that people, the average person probably, they might have seen some things on TV, but they haven't really lived or experienced firsthand some of these like very, very challenging, distressing things. So I really do come from a place of, well, I like to think of understanding when it comes to mental health. I don't know how detailed I want to go into it. I don't know how much people would want to know, but just to kind of set a bit of the scene. So in a lot of these hospitals, how they work is they have 3 levels of security almost on. So they have 3 different wards. So in my hospital anyway, they had 3 different wards, and the way it works is you're assessed right at the start. Before you go in, you're assessed in a room like you see when a prisoner is being interrogated. It's like a room that has like double-sided glass and these kind of things, where you're just observed for the period of a day, and within that day they come in, talk to you, give you food, these kind of things, and they're trying to work out, okay, is this person ill enough to be admitted into the hospital, and if so, which ward is most appropriate for him. So for me, it was quite a dire situation. So I was constantly trying to escape this room. I thought everyone was trying to work against me at this point. I wasn't having any of it. So I was admitted into the high security ward, which was in the basement. So this ward here, I think it was called the Nile ward. They were all named after rivers. So in this ward here, it was obviously the most high security. So you couldn't have a phone. We were restricted to. We were only allowed to stay in a certain area. We couldn't just go out for a cigarette or get some air. We had a little yard at the back, but it was only open at certain times. So essentially, this high security ward was the most isolated I'd ever been in my life. And it was just it was actually almost a gift that I experienced that, because, for instance, not having a phone I think I was in the highest security for maybe a month or so, but not having a phone for a month was just was like so like incredible almost, because when I got it back afterwards, I was just like, I was so much more grateful for those little things. But yeah, the stuff that happened in that high security ward, I don't wish upon anyone. People were so unhinged to the point where they had nothing to lose. Do you know what I mean? Like people were getting. One of my closest friends, a Chinese guy, he got his whole jaw got shattered. He got punched in the face by another person in there, and he then had to have a reconstructive surgery. He had metal all through his jaw. There was couple very, very problematic patients that would always fight with the staff. They would spit in people's faces. They would just test the staff to the edge, to the point where it was so horrible to see that I was almost like, okay, cool, this guy who's in a terrible position anyway kind of deserves this treatment, because it was so disgusting to see. And obviously people were picking on each other. People were, I got people were trying to steal my money. So we had this thing where obviously the food there was pretty disgusting, but so I tried to get takeaways as much as I could, but we were only allowed to do the takeaway on the phone. So they had like a public phone, and we had to like read out the card information to the takeaway delivery people because we didn't have phones. So a few times there would be people trying to listen to my my card details, and then like stealing my money from my account, and people were constantly trying to escape. People, there were many occasions where the riot police came through the ward because the staff couldn't control the patients. And in those cases, there was, and I'm not saying that I wasn't involved in this stuff, because I very much was in the depths of this stuff. But yeah, there were times when I was really bad, when the riot police would come in, and so what they do is they when it gets so bad, they inject you, or they pin you down, inject you in the bum, sedate you, and then they put you in this small room, like a, what do they call it, like an isolation chamber, I guess, and it's just a very small room with, again, like a double-sided glass type deal, and you're kind of, it's you're just what do they call it in prison, the shoe or something, but yeah, you're just essentially just left in there until you're seen fit to come out. But the thing is like, it's so confusing, because the whole time I'm thinking that these guys are trying to work against me, when really, like, at its heart, they're trying to help me. It's just a very, very strange way. It's a very strange way of helping, but it in the end, I came out okay. But unfortunately, a lot of people don't. And for me to talk from experience like this, and then be able to, rationally look back on these things and try to share my experiences with other people to help others, I feel like I'm in quite a blessed scenario in that sense. So yeah, that's kind of that really started my journey in mental health, and trying to understand the psyche of the mind. Yeah, so I hope you understand a little more about where I'm coming from, and a bit more of the context to my mental health journey. Yeah, again, thank you for your time.